All right, friends, it's T-Man. I'm back. It's time for a Blaha video, Jason Blaha video, man. The strength lifting, whatever, the lifting gym recruiting lifting slave himself, the strength and fitness baloney channel, the Jason Blaha. We're gonna do a reaction video to whatever it is he's talking about here. So Blaha says Jason Blaha is doing a body part training split. Okay, you could do anything. Here's the thing. Everything in this world works in the beginning and then it stops working. Why does it stop working? Why?
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. My radio voice.
Yes, take a sip of that water and get that radio voice going.
Well, let's talk about this. This is something I sat down and thought about all weekend.
Yes, let's talk about this. Whoa, Jason has been thinking about this all week. Oh, jeez. Here we go.
You know, I've said in numerous videos that some of the best physiques and
No, you have? Really? Are you serious, dude?
strongest men I have ever met train 3 days a week. Instead of taking
Really? Train 3 days a week? Wow. You know, you could really technically train 7 days a week. Okay. But here's the thing. You should be in a positive nitrogen balance if you want to see results. Like if you want to see real positive, like everybody says, lifting is healthy for me. Okay, if you seriously want, if you're a serious lifter, I gotta explain this. If you are a serious lifter and you want to see results, you literally could lift 7 days a week. Okay, like a factory worker. But here's the thing. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You need to be in a positive nitrogen balance, okay? Meaning you need to be anabolic. Positive nitrogen balance means that you're anabolic now, okay? It means protein. That's what it means. Protein, got to be positive nitrogen balance equals anabolic, okay? You've converted the catabolic hormone to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, okay? So if you're anabolic, you're always growing. You're constantly growing. There isn't any breaking down because it's shut off. You've shut off the catabolic hormone. So you're growing all the time. So no matter what you do, you could lift every single day and you'll be growing. Now, I don't know how far you could grow because it's going to reach a nuclear domain limit. But when you reach that nuclear domain limit, then you need to figure out what is the next step to further that domain. Get it? You understand me? Even if you are anabolic at this time, a positive nitrogen balance, you need to figure out what will push that domain. See what I mean? You need an addition of these nuclei. They synthesize protein, of course. Now, I don't know. In older lifters, they say that they don't necessarily need them in science because I've already gone through this. They're there, but you don't need an addition of them, a lot of them, for people that have been lifting for quite a while. Why is that? I don't know why. I can't explain that. I don't even think science even knows that. I'm not sure. But you have to discover it on your own. But you've never been in a positive nitrogen balance. So how would you effing know? Get it, dude? You have to actually go out and do it like I've done in my old videos and in my new videos. Get it? I've done the fruit diets. I've done this whatever diet. I've done that diet. I've done everything in my videos. I've done sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I've done myophobia. I've done hyperplasia. I've done everything, bro. Get it? Just examples in my videos on my channel. I don't do that anymore. I just do slave videos. Get it? Because people are asking me all the time, hey man, can you do this? Can you do that? Could you do that, the world's fastest running video again? You know, the tachyon speed videos that you used to do? Yeah, I could do them. I could do a lot of things. But honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the running one for sure because somebody is asking me for definitely. I love running because running is just, it's a kind of natural form. If you were a hunter, you would run. I don't know. It depends. It's that maybe you need to run away from a tiger. I don't know. But it is kind of, you would say it's natural but unnatural to run, okay? It's more natural to walk. But it's still, you would say the movement itself is natural to run, okay? But it's not something you would do every single day. You're not going to be running everywhere you go. You're going to be running. You're going to be walking most of the places that you go to. That's why I say it's unnatural to run, but it is a natural process.
clients, and we've done muscle groups once a week, even doing 3 day a week. And I'm like, you know, honestly, with the sort of volumes I'm trying to do, even in that 10 set per week range, I don't necessarily need to split my training up. In fact,
Man, you know what he's doing? An endurance athlete. He's doing cardio. He's using weights as a form of cardio to get ripped. He keeps lifting weights over and over and over and over again. It wouldn't even matter how much he's lifting there, okay? He's obviously not going to eat because he's opened a window for protein synthesis. He's definitely not building muscle because he's not going down to the buffet and eating for a couple hours after his workouts, is he? Does he have any videos of that? No. He's just lifting away. He's a slave, right? So if weights open a window for protein synthesis, why ain't he eating? So what's the point of lifting the weight repetitively in the garage? For what purpose? Well, people are going to scream at him. He's doing a 10-pound weight for his arms. Does it really matter? He's not building. There's nothing going on there. He's not causing a metabolic disturbance in the muscle cells so that they can open a window for protein synthesis. He's not eating. So he's trying to lose weight, right? He's trying to get recomped or whatever the heck he's doing there. So he's an endurance athlete. This is endurance training, get it? It just makes you better at doing these things. You've got endurance to keep doing them over and over again, like a slave, get it? And so it's cardio. It's cardio, bro. It's cardio.
One of the things I noticed is that I train my triceps so hard right now. I'm having DOMs that last 7 days a week.
What? DOMS does not last 7 days a week. The most a DOMS can last is about 3 days, and it subsides on the 4th day. And after that, it disappears. That is ridiculous. There's no such thing as DOMS lasting 7 days a week. He's crazy.
Okay. Not necessary. And I'm also questioning, is this impeding my performance session to session when I'm pushing somebody?
Yeah, of course it's impeding. If you get DOMS, you've got myofibrillar damage. There's dead tissue in there. It's floating around in your blood going to your heart. The T cells come out and they clean it up. So if you don't restore those injured fibers, they'll die. You'll lose muscle cells. You'll lose muscle fibers. They'll dismantle and die and go away. Whoa, eat this guy. You got to go eat right away. If you have any muscle damage in your body, you better go down and eat for the next couple of hours. You better be in an anabolic growth state, dude. And I'm not kidding you.
These lifts so hard. And I'm trying to train every muscle twice a week. I am still hurting by the time I get to the session.
Why? You're not training for muscle damage because you're not building any muscle. You're not going down and eating. We don't see you eating nothing. Tofu doesn't do that. So we know that you're not trying to build muscle. We know that you're trying to get lean. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. This is ridiculous training.
Even today, I did a chest and tricep day, but my triceps were still a little crampy by the time I got to it. I was warming up on bench.
They're not crampy. They have reduced force capacities and range of motion. There's damage there. It's trying to heal now, but it's not going to heal because there's not enough food to heal it.
Triceps felt a little crampy. So the question becomes,
That's why his arms are shrinking. This is like the worst kind of lifting slave you can imagine. You get damage, you don't even understand what this damage is. He doesn't even know what it is or what to do with it when you get it. It's kind of obvious on the face what you got to do with it. You got to go and eat right away. You got to be in a positive nitrogen balance or you'll lose cells.
Should I consider doing the once every 7 days? There can be some overlap because
you even lose nuclei, you lose cells, nuclei, you lose everything.
Again, if I deadlift on a bad day, have shoulders and stuff on their own day, I'll be okay, right? There's going to be a lot of overlap on certain things. It's unavoidable. But
DOMS is an ultra-structural muscle injury, dude. That's what it says. Go read DOMS Part 1. DOMS is an ultra-structural muscle injury. What is he talking about?
Here's the thing that I've realized. It will allow me to recover better. The research, when I used to talk about training everything.
The only people that talk recovery are long-distance runners. We recover after we run. Bodybuilders, they grow.
Twice a week. This was when we were looking at old data. This was an evidence-based approach. Okay? I want to be clear on that. That was an evidence-based approach. But the data has shifted. It really isn't fully supporting that. There are plenty of studies.
What?
now showing once a week makes great gains. How many great?
Once a week makes great gains. How does, man, how does once a week working out make great gains if you're not in a positive nitrogen balance? If you're not eating enough to build that muscle, how can you make gains? I'm saying if you work out once a week, you can make gains, providing you're in a positive nitrogen balance the rest of the week. But if you work out once a week, you're usually going to get symptoms of DOMS. It's associated with that if you're doing a full body workout. Yeah, I'm not talking about bro splits once a week. You're not going to split up your body parts once a week. You're not going to do your arms on Saturday and do your shoulders next Saturday and then do whatever, your chest the following Saturday. No, man, you're not going to do that.
Physiques and strong people that we know who train muscles once a week. Not that big of a deal. Again, I've taken clients and seen amazing progress, even in fairly advanced lifters, on 3-day splits. So I'm like, I'm going to just do a 4-day split. So I had to think about
What are they eating? Carbohydrates?
where I'm going to split stuff up. You guys can see it through the vlogs.
Oh, man.
But the thing that I thought about is that, yeah, it will give certain muscles time to recover. It will give tendons time to recover, because that's kind of a big deal.
Oh, man. The tendons and ligaments, they take a lot longer because they don't have any blood vessels in them. Blood doesn't flow to them very well. They take a bit longer to recover. You definitely don't want to start busting them like crazy.
I've watched people do this for decades. We've all seen.
Should I say not recover, but rebuild? They get minute tears in them too, but not a lot. But they just rebuild. They get longer. They don't get bigger. They get longer.
Massively successful bodybuilders and strength athletes who train this way. It's not really been a problem. The data is now saying it's not a problem. So I've realized what this would let me do is actually allow everything to recover, not feel any residual fatigue and those localized fatigue session to session, and come in and hammer things. Okay, hit stuff hard. Because what I've noticed on some of the days when I have done sessions to where, I'm not feeling, I'm just going to almost deload my Friday lower body day. I've had times where I've done that and I come in and deadlifts feel amazing and stuff the next time, you know. Or my lifts in general, like I feel stronger, I feel better. And I've noticed a lot of it's probably just due to localized fatigue also in my body. And it's something I'm noticing as I get older. And I see plenty of masters lifters who train this way just fine. And I could go down to 3 days, but I really want kind of a 4th day just to make sure some of the show muscles get hit a little bit better. So yes, I am going to actually.
The show muscles get hit a bit better. Oh, they break down a little bit more. You want to break down more proteins, right? Going by hitting those muscles, because that's what weights do. They break down muscles, they break down proteins, and they either injure muscle fibers. They cause micro injuries to them, or they break down a lot of proteins in them. So he's lifting to break proteins. Okay, that doesn't say that. No, it doesn't say build muscles anywhere.
Have. What I'm planning on doing at this point, if you guys saw the vlog, I did a chest and tricep day. I'll do a back day. Probably going to have a leg day, and I'm going to have a bicep and shoulder day. Now that might be subject to shit.
I've done these splits when I was conditioning myself, but that was for a short time, and it was only for just conditioning. That's it. And then what I was looking for there in that conditioning, it went away. It ceased, so I dropped it. And I took a long break, maybe almost practically 3 months from going to the gym. And now I just started going back again.
Around, I could end up putting the shoulders in one of the other 3, having a pure arm day. But I feel like because the benching and all the pressing hits my triceps so hard too, I don't know that that's wise. Because back day, I can go over to normal back work and not worry about supine grip, because I'm going to do a bunch of curls. I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 types of curls just by themselves on a.
For what purpose? You know, the funny thing is, I watch people in the gym. They're like, I got to do a hammer curl. I got to do a bicep curl, a hammer curl, and then I got to do a reverse curl. Why do you have to do a reverse curl, a hammer curl, and a curl? A normal curl. And then they're like, well, I'm doing dumbbell curls. I'm going to go do some barbell curls. What's the difference? What does it matter? After you do a couple of, look, if you're adapted and you do a couple of sets of lifting curls, just some curls, there's a window for protein synthesis right away. Go and eat and be in a positive nitrogen balance. You'll be anabolic and it'll grow. But if you ain't in a positive nitrogen balance and you're not anabolic, then those arms will not grow. There's a window now for a larger window for protein synthesis, but there's also a window for protein breakdown. It's breaking down. So you need to exceed that breakdown. It is breaking down, so you need to exceed that breakdown. So if you think 32 grams of protein is going to do it, it's not. Okay? That's just protein turnover. There's nothing really going on over there, dude. You're not building anything. You have to exceed that breakdown. You understand me? And then there's an open window there.
Per day. So I don't need to worry about the bicep end. If I did anything on that day.
You don't need any fancy exercises or anything. You just need to lift. If you're an adapted person, then you just need to lift any kind of weights. You could do any kind of sets, any kind of reps or anything. Just do a bunch of everything. And then go down and eat for a couple hours right away. Protein, just eat a lot of meat protein, bro. Be in a positive nitrogen balance and you'll grow. You will grow mass and you'll get super, super strong while your friends eat the slave carbohydrate diet and build their fake carbohydrate muscles, trying to maintain them with the pump all the time, lifting for the pump. You get it? For the pump. You're not lifting for the pump. You're lifting to be in a positive nitrogen balance. That's totally separate. That has nothing to do with pumping.
Just be some extra forearm work possibly, because we're doing all that pulling, because we're probably going to deadlift, do pull-ups, rows, all that stuff. But the other idea here is that it lets me get a wider exercise selection.
Does it?
Because I could probably come in and really just squat, bench, and deadlift and do a few accessories 3 days a week and still get good gains. But if I'm really trying to maximize everything at this point,
3 days a week and go get good gains? Where's his gains? I don't see any gains. He's not getting any gains.
Particularly as I try to get leaner again, I'm easing back into cutting. Going to start slowly trimming down further. Because again, I don't think people should cut. I agree with a lot of experts. They don't try to cut all the way through. I did a nice little run of a cut, got leaner, kind of more or less recomped a little. I'm going to slowly start working down again. Okay, continue to get leaner. But I do want those weak body parts to come up. And so it is really going to be kind of what people are trying to call power building. Similar to what guys like O'Hearn do. And what have I said in the past when this has come up?
Mike O'Hearn, he's comparing now to Mike O'Hearn, oh my God.
I've said with Mike O'Hearn multiple times, the fake natty thing and the junk products is my only beef with Mike. All that nonsense. Mike's training, and I've said this before, his training is exquisite.
His training is garbage. And the food that he eats is garbage. And anything that he puts in his body, if he's injecting anything, is garbage too. What are you talking about? Okay. Mike O'Hearn is a slave. It's a typical slave.
And he runs that sort of setup. He runs a 4-day split. He does heavy.
Mike O'Hearn is the epitome of a lifting slave, okay? He slaved himself to lifting because he's on drugs. He has to. He's never built any muscle, and so he has to slave himself to lifting all the time to maintain the fake strength and the fake lifting strength and the fake muscles, okay?
Barbell work than he does his pump work. He calls it power bodybuilding. People want to call it power building. But
he can call it whatever he wants. Power building, whatever. It's all maintenance of this the fake stuff that's there. It's maintaining the fake.
More or less what I've said we can all do. I've believed in this for a long time anyways. Heavy barbell work and pump work on 4 days a week works great. He's just doing it as a split routine. But you know what?
Work.
He's still in the game. I mean, and he has a textbook example. Granted, people will say genetics, magic supplements.
He's in the game. It's genetics. It's this and that. Oh, yeah, okay. Sure thing.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for consistency. He's been able to be consistent that way. And that is a big thing that I've noticed over the years, too. Okay. A lot of the guys who do their bro splits, they're just consistent. there's
They're consistent because they're slaved to doing that, because that's how they maintain the look. Otherwise, it'll go away. If you think that just them taking the steroids are gonna keep those muscles, they're not. They're gonna collapse and go away. They're gonna just look fat or bulky or fat. So they need to keep lifting. Yeah. The steroids ain't gonna do it for them. It's not gonna lift the weights for them. What are you talking about, dude? It's all fake anyways. It's just fake fluid inside there and everything. It's all being distributed between the muscles. And so they have to keep lifting to keep that look, that shape, that thing while taking the drugs.
possibly a certain amount of psychological motivation with that. And I've looked at that and I feel like that's
Psychological motivation? How could this psychological? It causes psychological problems. Look at Mike Israetel.
worth discussing, even if there's no physical advantages other than, it does give some localized
What physical advantages do you have there? What? Being slave to that?
areas like your joints and certain tendons, time to recover. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Time to recover so you could go back and destroy them again? Okay.
Because too much frequency, too much volume is what caused even my shoulder issues originally. But by doing it this way, I can come in, focus on muscles, and I can make sure that that muscle is thoroughly
Yeah, sure. I'd like to do that. Destroy myself faster than last time.
worked all the way through. So just like today, what you guys see me do, you saw me do 3 different chest exercises and 3 different tricep exercises.
I didn't see any of you. I didn't see you do any of those. What are you talking? Where?
Did we work a lot of angles? Yes. Did we do some really hard work and hard?
Look, dude, Michelle has left. Michelle Corte has left you. She left you for my channel. She's part of Team Master T. Team T Master T. Genetic Beast. She's becoming a genetic beast now. She's on the genetic beast team, dude. I'm sorry I have stolen her away from you. She's not interested in you anymore. And Emma left you a long time ago, dude.
Sets. Yeah. Like you guys are watching me shake and strain on the last set of every bench. Right? These were pretty much, most of my workout was 0 to 1 rep in reserve.
I heard they're threatening you if you keep using their videos, their exercise videos. They're upset.
Thought it was about 1 rep in reserve. I hit some new angles, and that's the other thing. If I'm doing this, I can always have, these are my core exercises that I'm going to push progression on, and then I can come in and work all these deeper angles with smaller movements after.
Blaha is not doing anything. None of these things are changing his body. His body looks exactly the same, has never changed. None of these exercises are going to do anything.
Anything that's lacking, I can make sure I get every muscle into those certain stretch positions and things that I need. So just like today, yeah, I did my skull crushers, but then I did behind the head extensions. Okay, we did the pullover. So we did all these things to make sure that long head got worked, made sure all the heads of the tricep are worked. We made sure the upper and lower chest is fully worked. Right, we did pullovers, which also help with the whole shoulder, with shoulder and chest mobility. It can be the same thing all the way through. I can go through and look at these different angles. And I've said for a long time, the best exercise for any muscle is to do a couple of really good exercises. This will allow me to apply that easier. Because I'll come in and be able to do, probably for every muscle group in my body, it's probably going to get 3 exercises on those days. We can make sure we hit different angles. Right? We'll have plenty of room for vertical pulling, horizontal pulling, different angles of bench press inclination, different tricep heads. Lots about this stuff on biceps, barbell work and dumbbell work. And I've got some different stuff people will see me do they haven't seen me do before. And there's some stuff I used to do back in the day we're going to make some returns of because I got great results before I got sidetracked from some of those assistance movements. I feel like now I'm in a position where I can come back and use some of those again, continue to rebuild muscle, particularly things like my legs. Got to blow my quads back up, get my squat back up. But again, I'll try to keep most of my stuff 5 reps or heavier. So my heavy work is probably going to be in the...
He's going to try to keep the squats back up. He's going to try to keep all these lifts up. He has to keep them up. Yeah, you have to be slave to these lifts to keep them up, or otherwise they're going to fade away. Why not just build muscle? So that the lifts will stay? You don't have to keep practicing at them. Why not just build muscle? It's really easy. Just go out and build muscle, and then you'll be strong enough to lift those weights without practicing to do them. Yeah, I don't know how far he can get. 250, 260, 270 of real muscles? Not the fake muscles, real muscle. Yeah. And then you don't have to practice at lifting those weights. That's it. Okay?
5 and up rep range for my big movements. And then a lot of my smaller work today was all 12 plus reps. And I think that's a good principle overall to apply. Heavy work followed by pump work. But we start with a big barbell movement, and then we finish up down to the smaller exercises all the way down to if we need to.
You ever go with your friend to a gym? And your friend's a little bit bigger than you, you're a little bit skinny, he was bigger than you, and you went to the gym for the first time, and both of you lifted weights for the first time. He could lift a little heavier than you. Why could he lift a little heavier than you? Want to know why? Because he has more muscles than you, duh. Get it? He didn't have to practice at lifting that weight. He actually has more muscles than you. That's why he could lift them. Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that? Yeah.
You know, machines dump.
Muscles lift weights. Did you guys know that? Yeah, man. And weights, yeah. Muscles actually lift weights. That's what they do. That's what they're meant for. They're meant for lifting stuff and doing stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man. Could you imagine if you have more of them? What could you do? Oh, my God. You could do a lot, couldn't you? Yeah, I know. Milo lifted a bull that weighed 3 tons on his back. He walked around with a 3-ton bull everywhere down the village. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Maybe there was a guy that walked around with a little baby bull, a tiny, tiny baby bull, and he was already a big dude. And he put his bull in his bag. Maybe he walked around a little bit in the backyard, but that's about it. I doubt the rest. He didn't walk until that bull was fully grown, that's for sure.
Bells, cables. Well, in my case, I use bands because I don't have cables. Whatever we need to do to get there. And again, it'll allow me to throw some different stuff out there, different ideas, stuff
bands and cables, they do absolutely nothing. Look, I am not gonna. I don't wanna butter this stuff up. Okay, they don't do anything. Okay, these bands and things, they don't do nothing. Okay, but can they open a window for protein synthesis if you use these bands? So now that you can build muscle so that you could get stronger? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What does it say in science about rubber bands, dude?
used with clients over the years that I haven't done in my own training. It hasn't made it into vlogs.
Oh, brother.
It will let me just...
He hasn't done it in his own training, but he's done it for his clients. Man, what kind of coach is this? You have to have experience. You pass your experience on to your clients. What are you talking about? I've never done it before, but I told my clients to do these things. That's why they don't work, bro. That's why they're quitting. You have no clients, okay? Don't lie.
Play a lot of these different things, which I think will be interesting for people to see. And it's already got a ton of comments, so I think people are interested in saying, like, well, let's see what Blaha's actually going to do here. This is going to be different.
What is Blaha going to do here? He's done nothing. He's gotten fat. He's gotten skinny again. After he got fat, he lost the weight. He lost the weight that he ate from eating that made him gain weight. That's about all he's done. And he knows how to take TRT and lift weights in his garage. Okay.
Plus, people have always said, oh, if you want to look, you don't ever do bros.
What sport does Blaha play? I play sports. What sport does Blaha play? He doesn't even play sports, bro. Come on.
Splits. You never do body part splits, and that's why you don't look like, well, okay, so I'm going to do them for a while, and then, well, let's just see what happens. But I know how to program them correctly because I do know programming and exercise science, so we're going to make it effective. But again, we come down to, can I get the most out of doing the amounts of volume I want to do, which is not crazy high volumes? Can I get the most out of it? Can I take 10 sets a week roughly, do a few exercises to get there, train really hard, hit all the angles, and keep getting more jacked? All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
And keep getting more jacked? He's never gotten jacked? What's going on here?
I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.
Man, has been absolutely uninformative. But you guys tell me what you think about that. You please like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, man. Comment down below, helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next video. That's just, I don't know, Blaha. What a video, man. Oh my God.